time here, and where do you feel like this kind of a win puts your team kind of on a trajectory going forward, and how big was it to have, after what happened with Lucas in that ninth inning, to have kind of that bounce back and bring the energy back in the building?
It was great resiliency by our guys today. Was by and large part a pretty sloppy game. I think we made a lot of mistakes defensively. Behind the plate, base running. Walked a lot of guys. It was uncharacteristic of how we've been playing. But to be able to bounce back after giving up a lead in the ninth with 2 outs, which seemed like that game was just about over, or was just about over. To be able to bounce back and come away with the win is just it's a sign of a good team that's resilient, not willing to give in. So that part of I'm extremely happy and proud of those guys in there for. If we can clean up the other stuff and hopefully not make it as dramatic, that would be helpful. But at the end of the day, coming away with a big win against a pretty dang good Kansas team was big for us. So step in the right direction, and we'll hopefully carry this momentum.
How did you pick up Lucas after that top of the ninth? He's a guy who just gave up his first earned runs of the season today. He's been really good for you out of the bullpen. It seemed like he just made one bad pitch.
Yeah, it happens, and he's been 11 appearances and hasn't given up a run, and was one strike away or 2 strikes away from closing that one out and just being lights out. He's been outstanding all year. So guys, you maybe made a mistake. I haven't seen where that pitch was, but kid put a good swing on it, right? So the great part about him is he bounced back and was able to put up, not give up anymore, and give our offense a chance in the bottom half. So obviously he doesn't want to hear that right now, but I look at how a guy bounces back, and he came back and attacked the next hitter, and got us back in offensively to give us a chance.
Overall, just how big an asset has he been in the bullpen, even if it's only 1 or 2 innings each time, being able to consistently come out and just pump loose eggs?
It's been great. We're trying to, find that recipe in that back end of the bullpen where we can, once we get a lead going in those late innings, hopefully we can preserve it and finish games off. It's been trying to find the guys that are stepping up in those situations, but it takes a different breed to be able to close out that ninth inning and just be able to keep executing your pitches one after another. And these guys have all really good stuff back there. It's just a matter of being able to not be afraid to make a mistake and give up a home run. It happens, but I'm not worried about how Lucas is going to bounce back. He's a mentally tough kid. He's been through a lot. I got all the confidence in the world in him.
So he makes his first start today, returning from injury. What was that injury? How did he deal with it? What did you think his first performance today?
He just kind of had I think it was, I don't even know where it stemmed from, neck or something, but it felt some tingling in his bicep, and we pride ourselves on keeping arms healthy, and that's something I didn't want to mess with. And kid's got a long career hopefully ahead of him, and I wanted to be cautious about it and make sure he was healthy before we ran him back out there, and kept him on a pretty strict pitch count today. We weren't going to go much over 60. Hoping to get through 3 with him, which he did, which was great. But it came out okay. It wasn't quite as sharp as he has been before. He kind of went down for a couple weeks. So this was a good step back for him, and hopefully he can continue to grow and get back to where he was.
Coach, you've seen new battle behind the scenes back from injury, his work ethic when the cameras might not be on. What does it mean for one of your leaders on the team who's gone through so much to come through in a moment like this?
It's awesome. I guess that's what makes coaching a lot of fun, is that you get to see the work these kids put in behind the scenes, and the ups and downs, the blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes that nobody else does, and they get to put it all comes to fruition at a big moment. It's pretty gratifying as a coach to see a great kid come through in that situation. He's been through a lot, obviously with the injury last year, and has been really working hard to find his swing this year and get it back right, and he's getting very, very close. Maybe he's there now with that homer, but just seeing that he even made a little adjustment today, early before the game today in batting practice, and put it into use there in that ninth inning, and it came through. So when you see those things transform or carry over into a game and have success in a key moment, kind of cool as a coach. I guess that's where you get your emotional highs as a coach when your kids come through and do what they were taught. So it's pretty neat.
Landon went 2 for 5 today. It's always tough to replace a guy like Canvu, but have a lot of confidence in him putting him second in the order. What have you liked from the freshman so far?
He's just professional hitter. He's fairly or unfairly, I've kind of compared him to Ryan Campos. He just kind of has that type of approach, that type of calmness, demeanor when he's in the batter's box, and trust his hands. I believe the power numbers will come as he continues to get older and more mature, but the kid just flat out can hit. And I'm confident with him. If I had to really pick one guy to go put an at bat on somebody, in our entire clubhouse, it's probably him. When he's some of these guys are capable of more, and when they're locked in, but as a consistent kid that I can count on to go put together usually a pretty good at bat, he's definitely one of my choices up there. So just a great hitter. He's got a very, very bright future.
And is there any update on Ken?
He continues to progress. Came up to me there in the ninth, said if you need me to pinch hit, I can. That type of thing. And he's anxious. He wants to play. I just haven't seen enough with him being able to run and do the things that makes him the player he is yet. He's getting close. So I'm holding out hope for maybe Tuesday or maybe the weekend. We'll see. I just it's one of those things I don't want to rush it and then have to go right back to square one with him. So I need to make sure he's in a really good place before we start playing him again.
You just talked about your confidence in Landon. Just acknowledge how great Ken's been. Is that kind of a good problem to have when you have two players playing so well who can kind of play that same position?
Well, Landon plays a lot more than just right field. He can play first. He can play left. He, in a pinch, probably could play center. DHs, he's just if you can hit, we'll find a spot for you. So I think when Kean does come back, it'll force some of these other guys to start getting going, or they're going to start losing some playing time. And we're trying to mix some guys in and see if we can catch fire with some other guys, so we can give maybe some of the regulars not a wake-up call, but more of a breather and wake-up call at the same time. That hey man, you're not going to run out there every day if you're not going to start producing, right? And we have kids that are pushing them. Landon being one of them right now. That man, this kid's going to play, and we got to find a spot for him when Vu does come back. We're gonna have guys mixing in and out of there a little bit.
I know he was in here earlier talking about needing to try and feel a little more comfortable and right. I know Kean's talked to him a little bit about that. How do you feel he's taken into the position there in right field?
He's done, for the most part, very good. Tough to replace the amount of range that Vu covers out there when healthy, but Landon's done a great job. There was a little miscommunication today there on that ball with Kyle Walker that we got to be better at, but we were able to still get an out, which was the silver lining of it. Just communication standpoint, it's got to be better, and we have to do a better job there. But he's played very solid out there.
You brought in Kai as a pinch runner there. He was able to draw a couple of throws. I know you've given him a little bit of time out there. How do you feel about him potentially getting some time in there as well with Kean still out?
I'm not going to sit Hairston right now, so I don't know. I mean, Kai understands the situation he's in. He's got a very bright future, and if there's ways we can mix him in, believe me, I'm trying. But every one of these games has been no soft landings, no go get him kid type things. It's just it's tough to feed 15 mouths that want to play, and 16 guys that are capable of playing that want to play. He's handling it like a champ. He's got a very bright future. We'll continue to look for opportunities to get him in.
Do you feel like the same thing can apply there in the middle infield, where you have Kyle and Matt King, and Jack's got in, Camden Bates is still available, Beckett's coming back? It's kind of too many mouths to feed there.
It's a log jam for sure, but I mean, I'd have killed for this problem last year. So I I'm not going to complain about it, and these guys are handling it great. They understand that we're just about winning baseball games, and whoever's going to give us the best opportunity that day is who we're going to go with. And they're, they've been, for the most part, they've been great. They want to play. Of course, they're competitive, and I want that. I don't ever want them to come here not wanting to play. But as long as it's not a distraction and taking away from our team concept and what we have to try to do every day, then I'm good with it. And Camden Bates is a great player, man. He just hasn't had much of an opportunity yet. So the best I can do is stay ready, and if an opportunity presents itself, then go get him.
You shuffled the top of the order around a little bit this season, but you haven't moved two guys from that 4-hole. What gives you so much? You had a 2-out double today to take the lead. What gives you so much trust in him to just leave him in that 4-hole and just ignore him?
The last 3 years. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I've seen the kid struggle. I've seen the kid go bananas and go crazy. I've seen the ups and downs of him. I trust him. He's gonna hit. And the day I move him out of that 4-hole is probably the day that I make a mistake, and he probably would have gotten 4 or 5 RBIs that day. So he's my 4-hole hitter, and go get him. I might fluctuate a little bit here, the 5th, or maybe even 3rd one day here and there, but by and large, he's my cleanup hitter. He's been there for the majority of his career here, and he's produced the majority of his career here. So hasn't been swinging great as far as his standards are, but comes up with a huge knock today, double, 2 RBIs to give us the lead. I think they're in the 6th or 7th. He's a ticking time bomb. It's going to happen, and when he goes off, it's going to be the Toby that we know. But it's not like he's doing poorly. He's doing fine, hitting over 300. But when I think he would agree, he's not swinging as good as he can yet. And once it starts clicking for him and the entire offense, top to bottom, this is going to be a fun offense.
Considering the back and forthness of today and not only this series but these past 2 weekends, just how impressive has the talent been of this conference that you're still getting used to, that this clubhouse is getting used to, this program, and what do you feel like is really going to be the telltale sign going forward as you continue to adjust and get used to new opponents you'll see year in, year out?
Just the consistency that we take the field with every day will be the biggest thing. Again, we played, in my opinion, very, very sloppy today. We had a lot of mistakes that get exposed by good teams, and when you're playing lesser teams, some of those things can go unnoticed, but when you're playing against good teams, every 90 feet matters, and you do things that get exposed. We played two really good teams, TCU and now Kansas. Doesn't get any easier. We're going up to Utah, where it's going to be next weekend after, of course, UNLV. But that'll be a challenge up there. They played Oklahoma State tough this week, from what I saw. Then we come home, and it doesn't get any easier after that. So bottom line, if we do our thing and stay consistent to who we are and clean up what we have to clean up, then I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll take our chances against anybody. So we just have to worry about playing our best baseball, and when we do, I don't care who we play.
This was maybe your toughest 4-game stretch of the season between USC and now 3 against Kansas, depending on who you ask. Maybe 3 games against a ranked opponent, 3 of them in conference. How would you assess the 4-game homestand here?
Okay. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. We have work to do to get better. But the encouraging part is we can, we took another series from a very good opponent. We move forward. We learn from our mistakes. We move forward. Again, we're not playing our best baseball yet, and there is room to improve. But if you're winning series with stuff to improve upon, then that's a positive. So if there wasn't anything to improve upon, then we're sitting here going, okay, this is as good as we get. I'd be a little bit worried, but I know there's more in the tank with these guys. I know we can continue to get better, and as long as we keep winning series and keep improving, then when the end of this thing happens, we'll be in good shape.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.